All right, guys, we are back. We're going to play. Now, this video may be a little longer because what I'm going to be doing is showing you guys the concept of shorting patterns and also how to actually play between games. All right, so how to take the last outcomes from play between shoes. How to take the last outcomes from the last shoe and play them into the next one as if it's one big continuum. All right, now if you do, I would say graduate in terms of managing your emotions and stuff. You can play this way and you can actually make a lot of money. I would venture to say maybe some of our top performers actually maybe do this, but you have to like, for example, you can see here we've had a huge surge recently. Today was a really big day. We have Juan. Good job. Owen is on the board at 80%. I think he's better than 80%, but I see you on the board. Donnie is killing still, and then some Z is good. So listen, guys, I'm going to show you all how to short it. Now, this way of playing it is more of this. We're going to use the freestyle version. And by the way, the trading, the live trading, this version, live trading and the ground up, they do work, but there are occasional bugs. If you want to be bug free, you would likely want to do the freestyle version, which is pretty much the same thing, except it's a little bit more of in your control. And you'll see what I mean by that. But what we're going to do, we're going to go through and we're going to play this thing until we hit what I call a short. What a shorting is, guys, is if you lose a game, the only way typically things can get out of control is if you have consecutive losses. By doing what I call a short, meaning stopping the losses ahead of time, playing against the trend, we not only save ourselves 3 units, but we potentially even win a unit, even though the short might have been correct. And you'll see what I mean on that. Well, actually, before I even go further, let me just tell you what I mean. So, for example, when we short it, let's say we lose hands 1 and 2 of this game. The next game, we're going to play just hand 1, but we're going to play it the opposite way of what we normally would have done. Because if we win, then that means that the continuum is still happening. It's continuing to what? Lose. And we can continue to play the short until we lose, but we will only lose a unit, but we'll never hit back-to-back -3 losses or anything like that. But let's just go through it. Since we're actually here at the start of a shoe, this is actually a good time to jump in. So let me count back. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. I typically like to go 10 back if there's enough, just to make the game quicker and put all the outcomes in. And put all the outcomes in P. I think that's P and another P. All right, so we're going to be waiting for another outcome. So here's how we're going to play. We're going to play the top-down approach, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to intertwine playing the 100% algorithms and also playing ground up at the same time, but I'm going to short both of them. So if I lose a game, I'm going to play, let's say if I lose the very first game, and there's another game, so this is at 100%. If another algorithm's at 100%, I'm going to short it in preparation that I might be on a losing trend. I think you guys understand what I'm saying. All right, but it's just a term that I'm using because that's what it kind of reminds me of. It's like you're shorting a trend. All right, so here we're on algorithm 1. We're going to play. Now, typically we can do 1 or 2%, but for demonstration's sake, I'm just doing 1%. Well, why don't you play with your bigger account? Because you got to be devoted to it. I'm literally the programmer. So I spent a lot of time developing this. You'd be amazed. Now, one thing I would say about AI, even though you there's no way this couldn't have been done unless it was AI, I would say. It still takes a lot of effort, all right, to even do it. So we won that one, all right. Now I'm going to continue to play. We might win 10 straight. I'm going to continue to play until I show you guys what a short is. And also, we're going to play through a shoe if we don't find a short moment where we lose a game and we short the next one. All right? Because typically what people get, it's not even an issue for us actually, but if you ever wanted to even solvent your risk even further, shorting is the way. But we're going to continue to play until we do it. All right, so once that's happened, we won. We put our minimum bet down, whatever it was, and then I think I just did a unit. I just did $9 on here. All right, and by the way, that $9,000 that surged, like I think we just hit a big surge amongst our current leaders. All right, so these guys are cooking in the background. All right. So what we're doing now, we're just going to continue to play on algorithm that's at 100%. Anything over 90%, we're pretty much good, and we can short them. You're going to see what I mean. If we even get the opportunity, we might win 10 straight. I just recently had a game where I won 12 straight. I've done that several times, but it's very easy to do. What's kind of easy to do? You'll see that they come often, okay, and more often than you think. But what happens a lot of times, I have one user who tends to try this, try that, dabble this, dabble that, and you never find any consistency in anything. You got to get like real succinct in your process. Like for example, here, this is 2 units. What you should do is take a break here, come back at another 2 units, come back at another 2 units. You know, I was talking to another one of my users. I said, how easy is it for you to get 1? Well, his idea wasn't about getting 1. It was more about getting 3. I said, well, what if you always were able to get 1? Had you ever thought about the focus and the channeling of just the 1 unit? Because if you can focus, this looks like a hard 9 there, okay? So we won here. We're going to go ahead and click that. And I'm just using the 9 here. But if you focused on getting 1, you'll understand the power of 1. But more importantly, it's more easier to get 1 than it is to get 10. Right? Just makes sense, right? It's more easier that way. All right. So you don't have to bend yourself out of shape trying to do it. I'm going to have a couple of my users, because I know there's still people who think, still people I've been telling you guys to challenge me about this mathematics and stuff I've been talking about for years. I still have yet. Now you got to compete with me and AI. But more importantly, we have users who actually are making thousands, not hundreds, thousands of dollars. We've got receipts of this. Guys, when I show y'all we were at 1,200% growth, I mean that. I'm going to show you one of my users who's he alone is at 700% by himself. He probably would have been higher than that, but he would have been much higher than that, but he took a bigger risk than he wanted to. But he's still at 700%. We're going to be doing some interviews with these guys, so we're going to be right back on Banker. So this is the thing, like when you're playing here with this standard, you are in control here. All right, so you have the power. All right, you can see here we're at total of 3 total units. We're in this shoe. We're at 2 units. We're at 4 games played. Total of 3 units, I think all together, because we had 1 unit before I started that. We're on the second shoe for quote unquote the day. All right. So we're going to have to wait for this next outcome before we continue, but we're going to continue to go, because here's one thing that your guys are seeing: consistency. All right, I'm showing you this on purpose. All right, but we're going to continue to drive it so that I can show you what shorting looks like. All right, now we may see the benefit of shorting in the short, even when we do it. If that happens, well, eventually we'll lose, but you'll see the benefit. You may not see it, but over time, you'll certainly see the benefit of what I call shorting. All right, shorting saves money. Okay, in our world, we're shorting the trend, we're shorting the pattern by stopping it in its track. But because we only play one hand, if we lose that hand, okay, that means that the current algorithm, the current structure is winning. We just lost the last hand. But if we win it, there's a good chance of meaning that the short worked, meaning we won on a losing trend. But the reality is that it could still win the second hand. We'll get around to that. All right, so we're gonna put banker here, and we'll get around to what I mean when I say short. If we lose the first game, the second game we play, the very first hand, we're going to play the opposite direction to stop it in the event, because the only way a game could lose, it would have to lose the first hand. Okay, if it's going to lose a game, it has to lose the first hand. All right, let's get a 9. All right, that's going to go, so we're going to go double here on banker. So you would do 2 units. So whatever your value is. So if you have a $100 bankroll or $500,000 bankroll, if you're doing 1%, that's $10. All right. If you increase it, that's $20. You got to remember that when you're doing it. All right. So we could see here, there's a good chance that we may not have any algorithms if we lose this. There's nothing above 90. But we may win. No, we don't. Okay, cool. All right, so we lost. We're going to put here, but we're going to put there that same minimum bet. All right, so we're going to go on to the next game. Now, we don't have any algorithms that are above 90. So what we're going to do, I'm going to play the ground up method. All right, but in the event that we would lose, I'm going to short it. So the ground up method is finding the lowest algorithm, which will be, we will choose this one as the lowest. They're both tied, but we're going to choose this one, and we're going to short it. So, all right, so banker. All right, so in the ground up method, we would play the opposite, but we're going to play exactly it. That's the short. Okay, so the ground up method means we play, when anything's under 90%, we play everything. All right, anything under 90%, we play the lowest performing algorithm, and what that does, it pretty much allows us to win on everything else but this one, considering it's the lowest algorithm. All right, so if we win here, all right, so we lost this one. So what that means is the current, so this short, the ground up strategy would have worked on the first hand. We just happen to lose that one. Okay, so what we're going to do is continue to play the ground up strategy. We would have won playing the ground up strategy, because right here we would have played what, banker, and banker won. So we would have won there. All right, now had we we lost. Hold on, let's just go ahead and put this here. All right, we're gonna put, ooh, you know what? I gotta put that -1 there. So we're gonna put lost. I'll make sure that's cleaned up. Oh, I'll make sure that's cleaned up, guys. All right, so that way it could be a -1 here. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna play the ground up strategy the regular way. So the lowest performing algorithm is still here. You see how now it's 57%. Okay, so we would have won on this one because it's even lower now. So so that means we would have won. All right. Oh, clearly we would have won. All right. So we're going to do player. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to hike it up just a little bit. We're going to be a little bit more aggressive. We're going to play the opposite. We're going to do 2 units on this game. All right, so we lost one game, and then we lost the what we call the short. Okay, now in losing the short, what we did learn is that the current process was still winning, meaning when we started playing the ground up approach, it won. We just played literally a short to see if it was going to lose, because if it was going to lose, then we would have taken the loss. All right, so here that was a player, and we're going to do ground up, so that's a double on banker. All right, so we're playing ground up, playing against the lowest performing algorithm. Now if we lose this one, I'll do another short. Okay, all right, why did my screen go black and I can't see anything? Tie. Okay, there we go. Now, if you look here, so you can see that we've made a certain stride because we had a little run. Now, we normally would have stopped at 3, but I'm showing you guys what the shorts what a short looks like. All right, and hopefully we can see the benefit of a short. All right. Ooh, that's an ugly one. That's ugly. All right, so it's player. All right, so here's a, let's say, lost. All right, so let's do a short here. Okay, all right, so we're gonna play again. We're gonna play, we lost on the ground up, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna play a short. That last game we lost, so we're gonna do a short here, which means we're gonna literally, we're still playing ground up, so we're literally just gonna do a single play on here. All right, so we're gonna do 1 unit on banker. Now the reason, again, we're playing ground up, but because we just lost the ground up, if the losing trend is gonna happen, then it's gonna, oh wait a minute, what did I do wrong? Okay, if the losing trend is gonna happen, 63. If the losing trend is gonna happen, it's gonna happen consecutively. So by playing the short on game 1 or hand 1, we, let's see, oh, that's a good one. So we won that. Okay, we won the short. So what that means is that this the ground up approach currently is losing. So right here it lost. Ground up has lost here. Okay, it lost. So what we're gonna now do is see if it also loses here. So that means ground up would have lost 2 times in a row. Okay, that strategy. So that's the reason we short it. So let's see if it loses here. Now, if it wins here, then that means ground up is still winning. And it did. So ground up is still winning. All right, so we won. All right, so ground up is still winning. All right. Ground up is still winning. It would have won on the second hand. So what we're going to do is still play ground up. All right. For some reason, it looks like they took more money than they should have, even though we're not working with much. It's like they took more. I gotta go back and look. All right, so here we're gonna play ground. We're playing ground up. Let's do banker. So that would be player. So we're gonna go, the lowest performing algo is algo 1. So we're gonna go ground up, and we're gonna play against this one, which means we're gonna play player. And go ahead and give us that. leave us be. All right, so we won that one. All right. So ground up literally has won 4 times straight. Now, what I'm going to work on doing is creating a way for you to see that. I got to create that where you can see. I mean, it would be great to know if you decide to play like that. But what I just wanted to show you in this video was nothing to really show a process of winning or anything like that. What I wanted to show you guys is what a short looks like. All right, because we literally say, like, even though the ground up approach strategy won, we won on the short. So even if it had have lost, we would have won. All right, and we never would have hit a -3. All right. Now, where you saw me actually increase the double side bets, stuff like that, those are things that you can do a little further down the road. You know what I mean? So but anyway, guys, I just wanted to show y'all guys what shorting looks like. And let me see how far we got. 41 in the hand. Let's see, where are we? Let's do this. Let's just play it out, because I actually do want to show y'all what playing through a shoe looks like. All right, so let's do that. So that was player, player, banker, player. All right. All right, we're gonna wait for the next outcome. So far, what we're gonna, looks like we have an algorithms at 90%. So we're gonna start playing on it. All right. So technically, if you guys are keeping up, now I made a couple. We lost one. I think we lost 2 games. One game where I did a 2-unit, 4-unit bet, so a -6. All right, and then we also a -3. But we also won a short. All right. So with that said, like, when you're playing this way, one of the things you want to look at is the consistency of losing and winning. You can see the ground up strategy would have won consistently, after the short, if we just played it straight up. I don't know what we did there. Let's just say we won. Now, again, with that said, though, guys, you don't have to just intertwine the two. If you know how to play ground up, it's basically what I just kind of taught. The only time you would only play it is when there are no algorithms over 90%. That's the time. Now, that doesn't guarantee you that you're going to win them all. I have to always disclaim that, because you'd be amazed at how people think. People think just because there's a process, I had one user who had asked me, they'd like something more solid, more concrete, more, as he says, cookie cut. And which means, what's the other word for cookie cut? Clockwork. It's like clockwork, this is close to it, but you've got to be slightly patient. See, like these areas, like I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna do a stress test too, see if we can like double this 136. But I'm gonna show you a way by understanding how to short and you see how like long we've had like winning streaks, taking advantage of those streaks. But because of shorting, we'll never have streaks of losses. That made any sense? All right. So we're still working on algo 4. Algo 4 is at 91%. So we just won that first hand. And now we're going to click that and go here. Click on win. And like, listen, guys, another thing, like I'm not going to enhance this too much because I don't want to run more bugs. This one appears to be kind of bug free. You can see here we're still down 2 units from all that fiasco mess we were doing. But I was just trying to show a point. Okay, guys, we would have definitely walked off. But my point was to show you what the short is. But my whole thing, and then also I want to show you how we're going to play through a shoe. So like I said, this may be a little bit longer than the normal. All right, so we're going to play it all the way out. All right, so this is at 92%, and again, like you don't have to. You could choose playing it straight up. If there's no algorithm that's above 90%, you could just take a break. Or if you're playing ground up, you don't really even have to wait for. You can play ground up after starting on the third game. So by the way, you know, you don't have to necessarily wait for it to hit less than 90%. All right, so we're going to be right back on player. All right, so ground up typically based on what I've studied, okay, if there is an algorithm that's at 100%, there's a lot of times where it can streak, and if you're only looking for 3 units, you want to take advantage of it, and that's the whole point of having these algorithms. Now, if there's not one that's, you know, that high up, then that's where the whole idea of hard 8, let's go. Well, I've seen them lose though. But if you don't have an algorithm that's at 90, that's where you can also take advantage of another type of a system, okay? Because algorithms streak. So you want to take advantage of that, but when they're not streaking, if you're going to classify them as volatile, you'll notice, if you study it enough, where the volatility is happening amongst the quote-unquote top performers, not necessarily the lowest, okay? So not that it can't lose. That's one another thing, you guys. Oh, that means it's not going to lose. No, it can lose. But here's another thing, like what I was going to show you, is like when I show you guys how to do a stress test, financial stress test, where you see where I could like be aggressive. And when you see where you can be aggressive, if you have enough bankroll, then you could just steamroll. But you need the bankroll. All right. So anyway, where are we? What else? So basically, we're just writing here. This is at 90-something%, and we're just going to write it out. I just want to show y'all what this looks like, even if we play through a shoe. All right, so that you don't necessarily have to wait for another shoe. All right, banker. I was about to do it here. You don't necessarily. Now, what's the theory behind that? Well, here's the thing. We don't know how the rest of these cards are shuffled, and we don't know what the next shoe is shuffled like, right? So it's one continuum of a series of 9 variables. It's a continuum. Oh, this is just one hand Charlie. Let's get a big one here. 4 work. I've seen 4s work. Well, not better than 6, but and you wouldn't you know it? All right, so here's exactly what we're gonna do right now. Normally I'd want to catch a 1-2 combination, so we're gonna eat that one, okay, and we're gonna wait for the next outcome, but we're gonna continue this. All right, we're just gonna accept the -1 loss, but we're gonna continue it. All right, so we're gonna wait for the dealer to deal whatever he's gonna finish shuffling. But we're gonna assume that this is one big continuum. All right. Now you're probably saying, well, every shoe's different. Yes, they are. Okay. But this is not built on those differences. This is all based in patterns. Okay. And no matter the shoe, the algorithms adjust toward patterns. So that's that. Okay. All right. So let's, that is weird. We still are at 136. I thought we lost that, but I'll take it. All right. So I gotta fix this so that we can bypass some of that. So that's something that I'll definitely fix on our side, that count, so that we can get a -1 at times. All right, so we're gonna still What is going on here? Let's see. This is showing active. Or maybe this thing is reading minds. All right, so why is that saying active at 71%? Oh, because okay. So we're gonna do banker. Sorry, I missed it. Okay, so actually, guys, this is silly me. This is at This is at less than 90%. So no wonder, my fault. We should have been here, but it's not too late. Let's just see what happens here, because we might have lost. Let's see, and we wouldn't have lost. All right. And we would have played banker and we would have won. We would have won. We would have played ground up, by the way, guys. So we would have won here. All right. So we would have definitely said that we've won. So go ahead and give us credit for that. Excuse me. I was looking at this active, and the right activity, once there's an algorithm that is above 90, it will correct itself. All right. But if there's none above it, just always look at the percentages. All right, just keep that in mind when you're playing freestyle. All right, so if this one cracks 90+%, it will become back active. So that's one thing, and I could take that active off, because it can throw you off. It's just something that it's kind of from the remnant from the old system that I did keep. So, but for right now, the lowest is still here. So we would be playing algo 4 technically. Now, for those who are, if you guys have been following the videos, about to do a dealer change. Remember, if the lowest algorithm is this one, and when you're playing against it, you're playing 4. If 4 is the lowest, if you're playing against it, you're playing 3. Same thing between 2 and 1. All right. And we will be playing player. So technically, the ground up strategy worked the last game, even though we failed to make the bet. So you could see, even with mistakes, this thing wins. All right, it wins. I'm just doing my little kung fu. Banker, that's a hard 9. All right, so what do we go here? Another player. All right, now this might set us up. We'll see. I mean, if we win, that's great too, but if we do lose, that will set us up for a short. Okay, you got to remember, like, when you're playing, now I'm just showing you a couple, really what I'm trying to get you guys to understand, for those who've been playing, is how to look at shorts, how to look at ground up, and how to also look at shorts, how to look up playing the normal way, or standard, if you want to call it that, versus the ground up if you're doing freestyle. All right, so we just won here. So you can see ground up is still working. Ground up is grounding up. Now we would have been significant. Now, according to the shoe logic, we're up 3 units, but of course the game logic, I've missed made a couple mistakes. All right, so we still have the lowest performing algorithm is at 63, and we're going to continue to play ground up. Now this is when I say I could be aggressive, because for real, like, and I'm going to show y'all guys what I mean when I say aggressive. All right, so we're going to play, like here, we'd go a couple more units, right? Different things like that, when you know what, particularly after you do a short. Like if you lose a game, you do a short, that's when you get aggressive, all right? That sort of thing. But you're going to have to systematically do it. You don't just start wanting to gamble and playing 30-40% of your hand. All right, so Okay, so we are on Banker. All right. So you see kind of how, now I didn't mean to go this long into it, but we just may as well play it until we may get another short just to show you guys what that looks like. If even from a perspective of the ground up, we're just playing the opposite of the next possible outcome. All right, we don't have to worry about that though. Well, listen guys, I'll do more videos like this, but you can see here, this is how our users, you know, some guys are playing live, and then some guys are playing the ground up. But overall, users are killing it, man. So shout out to all the users who are back and doing great things. This guy's he's been at the top since he started. One day we'll get a chance to, my guy Owen is at the top of the leader. Owen is I think that 80% is not right, because I've been watching your games and you've been logging them in on WhatsApp. Oh, by the way, we have a WhatsApp group. So all of these people are on WhatsApp too. So if you want to, once you join the team, you get to connect with people who are doing it. It's not like there's just me and there's people doing it and we're all connected. So this is all going great, man. I'm just grateful that a lot of the bugs that we had before, we're able to systematically kind of get rid of them. But anyway, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. ShadowMaxTrading.com. This is just a demo only, okay? I do this for demonstrations to show you how things work. But of course, with time, you will always be able to achieve. I mean, we've more than achieved our units, but you could do a lot more if you know a lot more. So that's what I'm teaching in these videos. All right, guys. ShadowMax Trading, the best trading site in the world. Show me who's doing better. Where are we at? 1200%. Who's doing better than 1200%? I got a user that's going to be doing an interview who's going to show you his 700%. He's did it about 45 days. What other trading site is doing that? I'll wait. I'm so serious. And they can do it next month, because we can do this next month. We're going to do it the month after that too. So anyway, guys, ShadowMaxTrading.com. Until the next time, peace.